So, looks like everybody's logged in. So I suppose let's start out with character introductions. So let's start with you, Lou.
I am Lu Wei, the Tiger Slaver. My motto is I could move mountains. My current goals are to eliminate the Fire Strike Gang, to eliminate the mercenaries, and that's about it.
And next up is Ning.
Hello, I am playing Ning, who is a Kirin Salt dancer. Her motto is For the Glory, and her current goals are to defeat the mercenaries and defeat the Flaming Strike Gang.
Okay, next up is Yazi.
I am Yazi, the Wolf Dragon Artisan. My personality is confident. My motto is All will be revealed. I currently have the goal of make a pact with the Shang Zhu, uncover, defeat the Fire Strike Gang, and defeat the mercenaries.
Woot woot. And next up is Tamara Jin.
Yes, Tamerjin Spider-Mare, doing everything a Spider-Mare can. My motto is that actions speak louder than words, and my goals are similar. I'm here to eliminate or uncover the Fire Strike Gang, the mercenaries, and discover the mystery of the egg.
Sounds good. And last but not least, we have our returning prodigal son here, Shenglu Po.
Hello. My motto is, it's not that the well is too deep, it's that the rope is too short. And I am a weasel vagrant warrior, even though I actually sold back Insider with vagrant warriors. So, make of that what you will. So goals since I've been gone that we've accomplished. We finished the spider goal.
Yep.
That happened while I was gone.
Farmer.
How'd that go?
Poorly.
Did anyone die?
Almost.
Everyone's
tap my
mostly
combat
alive.
So when they cleared out the so there was a horrible demon spider monstrosity, and the group managed to successfully corner it, and killing it kind of released an explosion of light from its innards, and when it burned away, there was a large metallic egg, probably about a meter in height, that was left behind. And PCs aren't sure what to make of it, but it seems to be talking to Yazi. And the PCs came back to the town to settle some things and do some things. And last session, there was one of the mercenaries was picking a fight with Muraich, the pretty dwarf lady from across the sea, and they confronted him, of course, and he shot her, nearly killed her, and they now have him in custody. So.
And I believe the last thing Tamra did was send all of the guards and soldiers out to find their camp.
So,
There must be more of them out there. Find them!
Okay. So, as far as what the PCs are doing, I believe Yazi made an offer to the Skunk Sisters, who are a little bit overworked, so they're trying to deal with that first, and then when it hits Sunday, they'll be able to unwind and think about it.
Yeah, I think that's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yep, so tomorrow they'll go to church and have a good long discussion about things. But I think the only other thing that came up with Shenglu Po was the indentured leopard guy who was working with Motherly Ling. Kind of insisted to keep going until Tamara told him, no, you're done now. So he is now hanging about at the tea house, seems to be infatuated with Ling, the squirrel girl, and she also seems rather smitten with his advances too.
Aww.
Oh, good for him. Yeah, there was that whole thing about him possibly helping us find the leopard lady from the gang. If that was a plan to try and do.
Well, it's up to you. Tamara, so they do have that mercenary in protective custody now in the cellar.
Right.
He's Yazi noticed that there were others that were eyeing the egg, and so he kind of sounded his group to protect it, and they brought it to was it
Right.
the alchemist house? It's like a stone house that's defensible. So
Right. If I remember the panic of events, like Yazi did this very quietly. I don't think he ever told anyone he saw anymore, but Tamara is basically making a educated guess that there are more if there was one in town.
Well, I don't know how quietly it was since I rallied up all these guards and we hopped on the wagon and drove it across the bridge.
yeah,
Everyone was kind of busy focusing on something else at the time.
Right,
so
but I mean, you've got guards in the area and everything, so.
Right, so maybe someone else saw it. But Tamara is sort of like tapping her foot impatiently, like wait for the guards to return.
let's see. Okay, the good news is that they all come back. It seems like they come back after a couple hours.
Mhm.
A couple of them are a little bloodied. It's like, oh, there were several squads of them. There was at least 2 full squads of mercenaries and another 2 full squads of those wretched gang members. We decided not to endure or pursue them, but I don't know. It seemed like they were in retreat and heading quickly back as where they came from.
It was a good idea not to pursue. That's perhaps far too many for us to want to engage right now. But they were on retreat. Did you happen to see what they were retreating from?
No, they were just moving away really, really quickly. Like, I would have thought that they would have cut us down for certain. We were outnumbered, and certainly, I literally outgunned with what they had. But for some reason, they didn't pursue us and thought it best to return back from whence they came.
Very strange. Thank you, though, for your report. We should all take our stations and remain vigilant.
So, what else do people do then?
Well, I'm still injured, not sick. So I am sticking with the having baths, having drink, having food, and sleeping well. Because screw you guys.
No
Of
more
course.
conversations with the doctor.
Yes, more conversations with the doctor.
Doctor,
What does this do?
doctor.
Yeah, and I'm still in a waiting period since I have a schedule to keep. Just to say, the forge is completed tomorrow. Ryu's lab is finished 2 days. My expedition to the city arrives in 2 days. Lu Wei gets paid in 8 days. His first payment.
Well, the doctor does heal you for 2 more to your healing quota. So,
Huzzah! A whole 2, in fact.
Seems like it's a good doctor, all things considered.
That's another $1 in my pocket.
Even though he's like, what, the lowest skill of doctor a doctor can be?
Well, no, he's the average skill of a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's not that cheap. Okay.
Well, no, yeah, I didn't go out of my way to buy a cheaper doctor.
That was it. There was no baths that could fit me.
Yeah.
That's something I needed to make.
Well, this is certainly the place to for building things. In fact, it's almost like building materials are starting to come in short supply. But does anybody else have any specific plans for the rest of the day?
What's the deal with this egg?
Airplane
Indeed.
food.
If things have finally calmed down, Tamara is going to try to gather up our squirrel wizard and her own scribe, and then try to go visit Yazi.
Well, you mean the otter?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought she was a squirrel for some reason again.
Well, did I name them the same name by accident?
Well, I mean, with 100 different species to go by, at least 2 people with the same name have very distinct appearances.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lena is the squirrel girl. Ling is the otter. Okay.
Okay. But yes, grabbing the magical one is what I'm after. Does she object at all to investigating a very interesting and divine egg?
Well, she seems a little bit irritated at the um and at the interruption, but she'll say, "Okay, fine, I guess, whatever."
Thank you so much.
So where do you lead there?
Uh, I will try to find Yazi, and I will ask a few of my guards if they have seen him around. And I presume the two that actually are stationed on the at the bridge at all
Yep.
times probably have seen this happen.
Yeah, they say, "Oh, yeah, Yazi took it to the house over there, or to that stone building that's almost."
Oh, the alchemist shop. She'll greet Guan Yi and Neza and go, is Yazi in here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would stop the mayor from
Okay.
approaching.
Yeah, they'd say, "Yep, he's inside."
Alright. So she will go inside then, bring your scribe and the wizard with her.
Okay.
Ironically, though, if any of your guards were with you, they would stop your guards from entering.
Oh, she doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Not yet.
No, just in case those other 2 by the bridge were gonna try and enter in.
Well, Samuel, I guess I assume then you lead them. You look for the cart to find the egg.
Right.
Okay.
And
So-
the guards and these other 2 guards of Yazi's have all identified where he is, so that's good enough.
Okay. So, yep, you go over to the egg. It's sitting kind of like in the wagon. It's got straw. And,
No,
and
we
hay.
moved the egg into the building. The egg is basically where Yazi is.
Okay.
Because we were trying to secure it because those guys were approaching from the outside of the village. That's why we even moved all the way over here.
Okay. So yeah, it's you've got it probably laying on. Well, yeah. How do you have it? Is it on the ground? Is it in a bed?
It's probably in that tub there in the corner.
It's in the tub.
I don't know what to do with it. It's also hard as stone, so clearly it doesn't require all that much safety.
Nope.
It's very vexing to Yazi. But at the same time, he feels protective, so he doesn't really know what to do with the scenario. In this scenario.
Situario. Gotcha.
Which is why she enters in with both of her compatriots. Ah, Yazi! You brought it inside. Excellent. I was so worried about it being outside in the cart. I think eggs have to be kept warm in order to hatch.
It was being stored in a cold cave. I'm unsure of that as a fact.
Well, I suppose it depends on if the inside of a giant spider counts as warm or not.
Oh, right, it was in... I don't know that. You know that, I don't know that.
Yeah, I literally saw it happen.
Yeah, and it was
We
relayed
were
back
taking
to me.
sequence.
I guess Neza could have told me that, since Neza killed it.
But, well, I have the brain trust of this very village, and perhaps we can, rack our brains to see if we can figure anything out about this.
Yes, I had my own
Yeah, Bill, you brought the
specialists.
books, didn't you?
I've had my own specialists look into it, but perhaps yours would be of more help.
Alright. And so we will put
Okay.
our brains together with academics.
Okay. So.
Or maybe even supernatural if the wizard thinks that would be better for her.
She will try.
Or might provide more answers. In this case, whoever has the most academics, which might be the wizard, will end up being the
She
leader and will try to help.
has 0 successes so far, so she takes one look at that and goes, "What the hell is that?"
I'm gonna say all my people amounted to 1 success, so let's see what your group does.
Samuel will try his mind in academic. So he gets 1 success to try to give some.
And since I've already rolled this before, I'm gonna road it and just give someone else another D8 to try to roll.
Okay, well, so far it's coming to nothing, so we'll roll another one.
Come on, 2 successes. Oh, yeah!
Okay, see, there's 1 success that was done. You kind of like, well, wait, maybe it has something to do with this and something to do with this. And the best that you can kind of come up with is that this seems to be some sort of celestial object from like the mandate of heaven or the divine heavens or whomever, conveys their authority on the earth below. Either if it originated there, if it was laid by some sort of like sleeping elder titan dragon or something like that, or what. It seems divine in origin, but it also seems of Earth. So it's kind of hard to describe it. This is certainly outside of everybody's expertise.
Oh, well, at least we know what it might be, but how do we keep it warm? How do we help it hatch?
Well, Ling kind of looks at it and she's like, "Well, I suppose I could punch it." Haha.
No!
Look at Ling in the other room and I say, don't you come in here.
Okay. Or like her fists catch fire and then she goes, "Oh, okay. Well, how hot do you want to get it? I mean, you've got a blacksmith, don't
That's true, though I don't think we want a cooked egg either. How hot does a dragon need to be? Well, at least keeping it indoors is better than keeping it out in the cold and rain.
That's true.
Perhaps we could get a few blankets in here. What do you think, Yazi? Do you happen to have a few of those in the store?
I'm sure we could take some from the workshop. Workhouse.
Excellent.
I'm sorry, the workhouse.
Who needs those? Oh, yeah, those poor cold peasants don't need blankets. No, give them to the egg.
Well,
Oh, well, I'm glad
if
you have some spare.
there's a commentary to be had there, it's a commentary on the mayor and not so much me.
That's the thing. She doesn't know you're taking them from anyone. You literally just said like you had some spare.
No, I said I suppose we could take some. I didn't say I had spare. The word
Right.
spare was not used. It's at the mayor's suggestion that we take some from the peasants.
What? No, never. But, well, we have to have something. Perhaps I have a good winter blanket I'm not using right now. I'll have to go home and search. But it looks like you have your guards on duty. I believe it should be safe here with you, shouldn't it?
One would hope, at least in such proximity to your own home, right?
Indeed. If you did not have a good place to lock it up, I would suggest my own home.
I believe your home is made of wood.
And it is very comfy and warm.
Right, but nonetheless defensible than a stone building.
It's true. Stone is pretty defensive.
I
And it
believe
still has wooden doors.
the ancient tale of the large, not friendly wolf could not get through the stone wall.
He
I
kept
believe he made it
sneezing
out of
at it.
sticks, not logs. But very well. I trust you to keep it safe and warm, and I will see if I have anything in my own home. I will bring it back.
And of course, arms clasped behind the back, bows.
Right. And she will thank her two assistants for coming to see what we could all figure out about this. even though we come out like none the wiser.
I have no idea what's going on.
I know what it is. It's a giant egg.
Shanglu Po, do you follow them, or what are you up to?
I did want to tag along to the egg. But nothing really happened with the egg.
Yeah, you haven't seen it though.
Well, no, he saw it once in character before. But he was an NPC before. Because remember, he's the one that tied the rope up around the egg to get it out.
Ah, yes, that's true. Okay. Well, you can, you follow in and kind of take a look at it. It's seems to be made out of some kind of metallic substance, whether it's silver or whether it's just kind of like a base metal. It's hard to tell, but it whenever sunlight catches it, it sort of reflects like a disco ball.
Oh, fun. So you only got one success on determining its nature. Let me throw in an assist attempt with my no academics and just a mind dice.
Hey, you're like, but have you considered
Weasels know eggs.
What if it's made of rope?
Well, you do manage to get an extra success by just sort of looking at it. And you're like, hey, well, if there's one thing I know, it's that dragons, yes, especially if they're supernatural, seems to be born either from volcanoes or, you know, fissure, like falling stars or fissures in the earth. It seems like if it is something supernatural, it could probably take a lot of heat. It's of this world, but it's also not.
So the weasel's contribution is that we should cook the egg.
Noted.
So, yep. But otherwise, you do have your shiny badge that you claim gives you authority in the town.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to pursue with that?
Well, I think all the building stuff is just sort of happening slowly. I did want to visit my kitty friend at the tea house and see if he put any more thought into that thing I asked him about.
Did you get that thing I sent you?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I don't know if I have a token here for Shanglu Po anymore.
I'm in the
you're in the mulberry farm.
Mulberry farm.
Okay. I'm going to move you to the inn because that's where Lu Wei is. He's he does have his own kind of, as far as baths go, they will certainly try to get something for you, but it's probably going to be like a stall outside and just like a giant watering trough.
It's where they wash the animals.
Good enough, as long as it's warm and clean. Bring me more warm water.
So they, I guess Fang Jin is getting roped into this task. He goes about and just fetches water and brings it back and puts it on the fire and so that it heats up and then pours it into the tank. And after a while, it's starting to heat up, but it takes at least 2 hours for it to get fully ready. He just seems to enjoy helping, and it seems like everybody needs the help, so he doesn't mind. But yes, you relax down in the big tub and enjoy your bath.
Huzzah!
And
More
you run
money.
afoul of a little Slinky boy as you see it, like you're literally like right next to the entrance.
I'm
And
gonna just lie there and soak it in and make everyone envy.
How you doing, big guy?
Could be better, but it is nice and warm in this time.
I'm glad.
Ling,
If
Ling the firebrand does eventually wander back, and she sees you in the tub, and her whole body turns red.
Yeah.
She
Good.
tries to ignore you and just walks by.
Multiple times.
She lingers for a little bit, but then like goes inside.
Are you fit enough to go out if I need some additional muscle?
Well, I mean, I could still punch things and what? Sure.
I don't know if we're gonna get into a fight, so don't think I'm like gonna make you, but
What you're saying is you'd like
I
me to be
do-
there just in case.
yes. You game if I need that.
You know what? It's been a little boring just eating and drinking. I'll go.
All right.
So where are you going, Sheng Lupo?
Well, I'm gonna try and get our leopard friend to take me to the meeting place he knows of, and he's also at the tea house.
Yes, he is. Feng Jin.
Hello, Feng Jin. Are you enjoying your, I guess, freedom?
No, he kind of stops and thinks for a second and says, "Well, I didn't see it that I was ever in trouble. Well, maybe I was, but I don't know. Didn't feel like I was being punished too much until I had to go into that creepy lady's house, and then she kept making passes at me and trying to touch me, and ugh. She's old enough to be my mother."
Hot.
Horrifying. Although, here some people, that's their flavor. So.
Yeah. No, there's a cute squirrel in there instead that I'm more interested.
Ah,
Yes.
perhaps you need a wingman.
Oh well, I just I don't know if she likes me because I just and he kind of grabs his tail and kind of like does the whole bashful thing with a foot behind his ankle, and well, she's really sweet and but she wouldn't like a nobody like me. Why? I don't even have my own farm. I mean, I'd have to. I mean, it's too late. Why? Yeah, she's no way.
Well, have you put more thought into helping me find? I'm going to need some help with her name again because it has been several weeks since we talked about her. The
Shumai?
the snow leopard lady who doesn't like Jan the Ugly.
Yes, Shumai. I was a part of Mad Peng's group. She and she. Yeah, I saw her every once in a while, but that life is behind me.
But you said you might know a meeting place where it might be possible to contact her.
Well, yeah, there's sort of when you. Well, I don't know what they're up to lately, but if they all want to get together and they have rendezvous points, I guess you could call them. I know a couple that where she usually goes if there's something big that happens, and I don't know. I thought I heard a gunshot earlier.
At the rendezvous point?
No, earlier with that outside. I thought there was a gun that
Oh, yeah. Someone
If
was
it-
shot.
if they got scared back to or something happened, they would know to go back to a rendezvous point and wait for one of the leaders or wait for
Oh,
orders for what.
so this would be the perfect time to check one.
You make it sound like you want me to come and show you or something.
Well, haven't I helped you out?
I guess. What skills do you have to try to convince him? And yes, Ning, you've returned after securing the prisoner, and you see Lu Wei, Sheng Lu Po, and Feng Jin outside having a But yes, if you have some sort of convincing dice.
I have deceit dice as my talking skill. However, I was thinking, if you do need a bit more convincing, perhaps I could talk to the girl you fancy and see if she'd like to go courting with you.
Give yourself a bonus D8.
Ew. I know his weakness.
You say it like you have bad intentions. Perish the thought.
I was just double checking my. It's will and deceit.
Yes. So you have to keep the straight face while you lie. But yes, for sake of levity, Ning is also secured him in the basement, made sure he was all right, checked up on Muraich and brevity. Yes. Either way. Well, Sheng Lu Po, you get one success, but considering how he kind of wants exactly what you're selling to him, it's a pretty easy win for you. So he's like, "You would talk to her? Oh my gosh! Okay, well, I guess if it is to put an end to these these horrible things and stop these terrible monsters from attacking this beautiful little village, then I guess I have to do it. Okay, yeah, I can show you where they would go."
Thank you. And I promise to talk to her first thing when we get back.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. Talk to her now.
Okay, but you still have to come.
Yeah.
I have your word.
Yeah, you do. And I'm a man of my word. I must.
Okay, I'm gonna go find her. All I know is that she's a squirrel and a girl and in the tea house. So hopefully there's not more than one of those.
No, there's only one pretty squirrel girl. Her name is Lena. And she is Ning's, I guess, ally / dancing partner now. But she is actually seems rather happy. Her demeanor has changed quite a bit since she got here, and she seems coming out of her shell a little bit considering her background. But she seems quite happy and moves with a little bit of a spring in her step.
Ah. Well, being the charming, slinky man I am, I will introduce myself. Unless we have met. I've been gone.
Yeah,
so I
no,
don't know.
you I think you and Lu Wei were the two that freed them. So it's just like, oh,
Yes, we
it's
were.
good to see you again, Sheng Lu Po. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And yourself?
Oh, I'm doing great. Life seems to be turning around for me, even if I am working inside of this little tea house. But it's good work. It's fulfilling work, and I get to. Everybody is just so wonderful. Mei Ling and Zhu Yang and even Ning the dancer are great. It's wonderful. Here, can I get you a?
Sure. But bring one for yourself and sit with me. Let's catch up.
Oh, well, I'd love to, Sheng Lupo, but I have a lot of orders to fill. It's a busy, busy day, and we just have to make it through this day before we'll finally be able to have a rest. And, ugh, can can you come back tomorrow, maybe?
Well, I mean, could you just give me a couple minutes of your time?
She kind of goes,
I'm gonna be
"Okay,
heading
okay."
out soon, but I'll
Oh.
make sure you're well tipped.
Okay, well, she grabs a pot of tea and brings it over and sits down at one of the tables and pours you a cup. Says, "Oh, so what's been going on in your life, Shenglu?"
Oh, it's been quite, crazy here, as I'm sure you've heard some commotion recently. And
Oh yes, I thought I heard a gunshot and I heard yelling and but I couldn't. I had orders to fill. I just couldn't.
no, it was best to stay in where it's safe.
Yes.
Have you been adjusting to life here well?
Oh yes, I think so. I finally seem as though I things are going better. It's. Uh, I never thought I would be able to look people in the eye and actually dance again, but I feel happy and I feel vibrant and it's great. It's fun and the people are just so nice and you see a little bit of a flush go in her cheeks.
Yeah, I hear you've been a bit of a heartbreaker with the local boy.
Oh me? No. I well there's only one that I know he wouldn't be interested in a lowly peasant girl like me who's far away from home and in a strange land and
Oh, tell me.
she you see her face blush and she kind of like hides behind her hands and says and says well his snow is or his fur is white as the snow and his eyes are bright vibrant green and he laughs so wonderfully and he has this funny way of being so earnest and I think Feng Jin is just so sweet.
Ah, well, I've heard him talking about someone he fancies as well.
She kind of like and she kind of looked momentarily like, oh no, like crestfallen a little bit, like, well, he's a nice, handsome man. I'm sure he has all sorts of lovely women that are interested in him.
I'll give her a cheerful smile. My dear, he's quite taken with you.
And her eyes goggle, and she like literally like does the jump up and down a little bit, like with her hands, jazz hands in the air. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! So no, he just shut up, shut up. And it's like something out of high school.
Why don't you go out and see him? He's just outside.
She takes a drink of tea and scoots out. And Ning, you watch Lena just sort of dart out of the
Wow. Are you
and
gonna have to
Lue.
offer to handle her work?
Lue.
I am going to follow her slowly because I actually have some business with this guy.
Okay. Well, Lue, you are sitting in your tub, just sort of soaking in and going, "Oh, it's nice." And you see Lena kind of burst out of the tea house, and Fang Jin sort of turns and notices her. It's like, "Oh, hi, Lena," and he like nervously scratches behind his head. She goes, "Fang Jin, you sweet, sweet leopard." And he like, "Oh, I love you. I love you too. Oh my god." Yeah, it's sickening and saccharine and right out of a romance novel, but they just seem like
See, I didn't order a show, but at least I'm getting one.
I know, all in front of the bathing giant.
I am definitely getting my money's worth.
And they're getting theirs.
So he like picks her up and twirls her around, and she like kicks her feet and like he like picks her up and says, "We should get married," and she's like, "I want to get married." But what do you say, Ning?
So I will wait for a moment or two while they are in this blissful state. Then I will move into a fairly close distance and loudly clear my throat to get their attention. And try to look intimidating, which I am actually very good at right now.
Lena will like, oh, I'm sorry, Ning. Ning, this is my well, I guess my fiancé, Fang Jin. Yes, you know him. And Fang Jin bows and says, "Oh, yes, yes." They just seem.
I will let them stew for a few seconds and then nod to Lena and address the guy. So I heard a little bit about you. I heard that you are looking for work.
He kind of says, "Well, yes, I guess you could say that. I'm trying to keep my nose clean and do the right thing and take care of the people important to me. Yes, I guess you could say that."
Well, this tea house needs some more workers, and I am pretty sure that you would do well in this position.
He kind of says, "Oh, what would you have me do? I can move things. I can chop wood. I can deliver water. I'm not educated, but I have a strong back and I can work hard. Mother Li Ling will tell you that."
And I will essentially sound like in agreement and basically let him wind himself up for a little bit and then point to the door to the tea house. Let's go and see what you can do.
He says, "Okay, yes, no. Is it okay with Mei Ling and Zhu?
I will just stay silent, pointing at the door.
Oh, okay. And Lena kind of comes back in a little bit like, "Oh no, we were gonna get married," and then but realizes, "Oh crap, I still have a shift to fill," so she goes back to work.
Yes, I will follow them and basically just stay in a place that I can steer these two to work and maybe not spend too much time smooching.
Yes, so they're definitely doing a little bit of that. So a couple times you have to like, hey, get back to work. But Feng Jin, the cook, puts him to work like getting deliveries. Like, okay, I need this, and this. I need to get go and get these vegetables from this farm and this vegetables from this farm. So he kind of goes out and does errands. When he comes back, he splits wood for the fire. He will actually like pull the linens out from the rooms and wash them, and like he's doing a lot. Like he seems genuinely like trying to do good. So
That's good. I am counting on him being a good worker, if for no other reason than trying to impress his girlfriend.
yes.
Better
So
not tire him out too much because we also have business.
well, he's certainly working at 120%. Like he's trying to impress you. So it's like, okay, I could normally carry that stack of wood by myself, but I'm gonna add on a few extra logs and run back just because just need to. So Yep,
How-
that's what he does.
How long is he going to be working for?
Unless you intervene, he will work until closing time, which is like 2 in the morning.
I'm gonna intervene then. Let him do some stuff. Then I'm gonna remind him he has an obligation he needs to fill before he can settle into a new job.
I believe, per your agreement, that you would help us find the Fire Strike gang. Do you like tell him, okay, no, Fengjin, it's time? It's like, then he goes to Ning and he says, excuse me, Ning, I made a promise to Shenglu Po that I would show them where a rendezvous point was. Can I go and do that? Or...
Then I am going to turn to Shenglu Po because, in all honesty, I only trust the weasel as far as I can throw him. So I will demand some answers about what's going.
It's actually stuff that's in all of our best interest. I'm trying to, help along an internal coup among the Fire Strike gang to get rid of Yan the Ugly and end slavery in the gang. So, in fact, if you're worried, you're welcome to come along to the meeting point. I certainly wouldn't mind the additional protection just in case.
All right, I will come as well.
Okay. So you escort Fengjin out of the tea house with you.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna, in our little crew here, I'm gonna say, should we get some of the others? I'm worried about bringing too big of a group and looking like we're specifically there to fight. And this is hopefully going to be a peaceful meeting.
Hopefully.
So,
out of character, Griffin, do you want us to get Tam?
Yeah, definitely. If you guys are gonna go out and meet with the Fire Strike gang.
Yeah. Okay, then I will say, I suppose we should get the mayor. She would want to know
At least
about this.
notify, yeah.
But then we should head out soon while they're still likely to be at the rendezvous.
okay. So, does anybody want to get Yazi?
Tamara will stop by Yazi's first, of course, to deliver the blanket she's had to pull out from the attic.
Yeah, Yazi's probably set up a somewhat of a impromptu paperwork fortress in here. In that he's probably filling out numerous requisition forms and, timetable request schedules and
You've got the merchant scale in the corner too, and
Tamara just sees like the telltale signs of constant paperwork and just immediately understands. I don't suppose you'd be interested in another expedition.
he'll look up from his papers and say, unfortunately, no. The forge should be completed by tomorrow, and I have a lot of work to be done ahead of time to ensure everything remains on schedule.
Well, could I ask you a simple favor? As long as you're staying in town.
It is but yours to ask, Mayor.
The mercenary. He had, shot one of our citizens. It was one of the refugees, wasn't it?
yes, one of the exotics.
I believe she's in the care of one of your doctors, if I've heard right. If you could, whenever she feels well, could you ask her about why this has happened? What relation she has to the mercenaries? You see, when I sent my soldiers after them, they had decided to flee. I have no doubt if they engaged, my soldiers probably would have been killed, but they
He'll
retreated for a reason, and it worries me greatly.
he
Could be
will
back at any
flick
time.
through a number of his papers and say, "I shall endeavor to add it to the schedule."
Thank you, Yazi. And do try to stay warm yourself. I hear there's going to be a cold front coming through. Well, so the fortune teller said. The old wise
Yeah.
woman.
Again, taking a look at Yazi, he's wearing 3 different layers as normal.
Wear our fourth.
Well, he's got the robe, he's got the vest, and he's got the straps, the strapped thing that keeps the vest tight around the robe, so I guess 2.5 layers.
Alright. So, Tamara is going to go ahead and, get her armor, get her shield, and of course, get a concealing sort of robe around her. Sort of like a light thing to keep the rain off of her, and maybe,
Poncho.
yeah, poncho, and, keep people from seeing, like, the glitter of the armor for the moment, since her friends have at least said this is some sort of a subtle mission. But she does have to ask, so what is our goal here? Where are we going? What have you found?
Oh,
Just before we set off.
we're going to meet with the Fire Strike gang.
You
Or
have
in
an audience with
particular-
them, or are we just going to barge in and knock on the door?
More the latter, but we hope to have a peaceful meeting.
Well, I had considered it, but thought it too dangerous. But if you think that there's a possibility we can pull it off without danger, then I will trust you.
Yes, as long as I can meet the member of the gang I hope to, I think.
Very well then. I presume you don't wish me to bring any of the guards with us?
Bring some along, but we should leave them a bit farther away from the rendezvous point, just in case we need to fetch them.
Okay.
We can have them set up a camp,
Climbing,
not
searching,
too far away.
jumping, guard. I'm just trying to see like which one is the best for like setting up a actual guard. And the answer is none of them. No careers have like observation.
Nope.
Yeah, well, you do that. Also, I have to be right back real quick.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna end up bringing 2 sheep soldiers with me,
Okay.
and that will be my retinue.
All right.
And of course, I will tell the captain of the guard, "Oh yes, I'm leaving again. Have fun."
So, okay. I guess I can switch maps, but I don't have like a specific one set for it. Otherwise, we can leave it here. But so as far as going overland, Feng Jin says, okay, this isn't the main fortress. That's in the mountains. This is more, I guess you could say, a camp. So there's a couple ways to get there. If we take the more direct route, we're going to have well, we might encounter people, a part of the gang, that are going there. If we take a more indirect route, well, chances are very few people are going to take the indirect route after a gun went off.
I do like the sound of an indirect route, and I wouldn't want to meet a group of soldiers all carrying guns with our little retinue.
But you'd have to keep up, though. You gotta move. Otherwise, we won't get there in time.
Ah, I see. Temujin will sort of flash back to like the numerous times in which we've all been walking, and how every single time, nearly all of us are absolutely exhausted. You know what? Maybe the direct route is the one for us.
Okay. Well, then I guess we should be a little sneaky about it.
Agreed, but easier for us to be sneaky than fast.
Okay. Well, in that case, everybody should make stealth checks.
Oh boy.
Which is speed and stealth, yes?
Yep, speed and stealth.
Hey, D4 came in handy.
Oh, that goes for me too, right?
And the way are you coming with too?
Yes.
Ooh, I got 3 successes.
Slinky boy.
I'm built for.
Mm-hmm.
Stomp, stomp, stomp.
Well, looks like everybody except for Ning succeeded. So, so we'll kind of just proceed here through. Let me just quick. Okay. Fortunately, as you approach closer, Fang Jin puts his finger to his lips, and as you're all kind of slithering through the underbrush or along this trail, it looks more like a game trail. But it sort of zigzags a little bit in ways that no animal would really do. It makes two sharp curves and turns and what have you. And eventually you start hearing what sounds like arguing. And as you get closer, you see there's it looks like at one point in time, this might have been some kind of settlement. It's been in ruins or it's overgrown with foliage and creeper vines and things like that. But you can see kind of skeletons of stone buildings. You see there is a well in like kind of a clearing in the center of the town or village or thorpe or whatever it used to be. There's probably only maybe about 5 or 6 of these stone skeletons, but there is a little well in the center of the clearing. That seems to be in use. There is next to it, not far, a large campfire or a bonfire, but it's not burning very brightly. It's pretty low. So you see actually quite a large number of people. There is a group. You can see snow leopards abound. There's probably at least 20 of them. And they seem to be split into 2 groups. 10 of whom are standing next to another snow leopard, who seems a little bit sneaky and a little bit pretty. And the other group seems to be siding with a very ugly tortoise man. But backing the tortoisey man up is 2 squads of the armored chainmail wearing guys with guns. And as you get closer, you can kind of hear them just very impassionedly arguing. You can hear sounds go, it's like, I don't care what you think about this. It's not like, you have no concept of money, you stupid bint. And the woman responds by, what you're thinking about doing is suicidal. Yeah, they might be unprotected or they might be weak, but it's stupid to throw everybody at it. I mean, you're risking what you're proposing is risking the entire organization to go in one fell swoop. That's insane. And the tortoise responds, well, you just don't have any concept of vision. They have a giant boulder made out of fancy metal. Like, can you imagine what that alone is worth? And then there's the selling the slaves and whatnot. I mean, you have no sense of proportion. No wonder you're living out in the mountains. And she says, Sung Wei will never agree to it. And he says, oh, I'm sure he will once I talk to bring up to the egg about it, or bring up the egg to him.